I try to capture the early morning coolness, and um, it's oftentimes a Zen moment.
When I first heard about him, I just thought this was somebody who's going to walk through town, and we talked to him and that would be it. And he's made a huge impact in 24 hours.
I live in Newburyport, Massachusetts, and on May 15th of this year, I left my home to walk across America.
William Shuttleworth has been walking.
Well, I average about a marathon a day, about 25 to 30 miles a day.
Seeing the country he loves, one step at a time.
Every state has its beauty, but there's something majestic about the Colorado Rockies and the Utah bluffs.
William isn't walking for the exercise or the scenery. He's on a mission.
The VA hospital that just opened up in Denver was a debacle, a $2 billion overrun. Nobody knows where the extra $2 billion left. They reduced the number of beds. They eliminated the programs for PTSD. How can America do that to our veterans?
The 3.5 months William will spend walking across the country is a fraction of the time a veteran may wait to receive first-time care from a VA hospital.
It takes 568 days on the average to qualify for a veteran's claim. That's almost 2 years.
He's a veteran himself.
He's my hero today.
I filed with the VA years ago because I was exposed to Agent Orange.
Yeah.
As the journey continues, strangers become friends.
I'm also a veteran. I'm a Vietnam veteran just like William. We both joined the Air Force almost the same month.
Larry Harper from Tennessee.
My heart goes out to you. God bless you.
Well, thank you so much,
Never
Larry.
crossed William's path until now, but he'll give up part of his vacation to share this walk a while.
It's put more energy into me today, so what can I do from this day forward?
Every person who puts a uniform on has some level of impact that has on their life, and we can't forget that. 5,000 soldiers have lost their lives fighting in Afghanistan, a huge number, but 100,000 have actually taken their life since they've returned.
The walk affords William time to think.
And to give someone an 800 number to say that that's going to be the panacea and support is an insincere effort. We need to provide local support at the ground level in every community.
With awareness of his walk growing,
People stop me along the way. They want to talk about veteran issues. They want to take pictures.
stops like this one in Bluff, Utah,
And we asked it as the day progresses that you might continue with William and his journey.
allow opportunities to share ideas.
The mayor provided her house for me to stay. This is the kind of heart space that makes America work, folks.
We spent some time talking with William last night. It gave me a lot of ideas about what we can do in Bluff. I will take this back to the council and to the town and say, we're not doing enough.
Caring for vets, William says, is not just a job for the federal government, though there are things he would like to see done on a national level.
Just on a credit card size card in your wallet, you could have your entire medical history, your entire past service delivery through VA. You could go from center to center and have that immediately uploaded. It touches your heart to see what America is all about. Sometimes you watch the nightly news and it makes you want to crawl underneath the bed. You think that the country is unsafe and dangerous and unforgiving. But you put a pair of these shoes on, and this is my 5th pair, and walk across the country. And you see nothing but gracious, kind, hardworking, decent people that give the shirt off the back. That is the America that I'd like to see TV capture in the nightly news, because that is really the true essence of this country.
Artifacts from another era. Technology left in the past. These staples of a family movie night have been replaced, but the tapes live on eBay. A search for Disney VHS delivers these results. You are seeing that correctly. That Beauty and the Beast tape is listed for $15,000. We went to an expert.
I was wheeling and dealing comic books back in grade school.
Ken Sanders has been collecting Disney memorabilia for decades.
You know, I've been involved in it since the 1960s, peripherally. The only difference then and now just adds 0 to all the prices.
So does that mean the value of this VHS actually has a lot of zeros?
It's being sold for $15,000.
No,
And I
quit
bought it.
saying it like that.
I bought it for $1.
Somebody's asking price is $15,000.
Just because a seller is asking that price,
My definition of eBay is a mighty confluence where ignorance meets greed.
doesn't mean they'll get anything close.
So I didn't make a fortune at the DI for 50 cents or $1.
Oh, I'm sure it's worth $10. Percentage-wise, that's pretty high, isn't it?
Ken showed us some items.
It's just beautiful art and storytelling.
These classic comics
This was the only comic book in the 1950s my mother allowed me to subscribe to.
are rare,
This is one of my favorite characters of all time of Disney, Uncle Scrooge.
and valuable.
They're printed on the cheapest kind of pulp paper that exists. They are turning to dust as we watch them.
Sanders says most things produced after the 1960s or 70s
Manufacturers began creating what I call manufactured rarities.
just don't have the allure
One of only 25 million copies made.
of the true classics.
They really started manufacturing for the collector market. And to me, that's the death of real collecting.
Stuff you buy at Disneyland and those VHS tapes are mass-produced.
It's manufactured garbage.
So while they may not help you pay off your car,
And if anybody's telling you you should be collecting this because it's good and a good investment, run the other direction.
you just can't put a price
You know, every generation is nostalgic for your own generation's youth.
on their sentimental value.
Always buy what you like and you love. And that way, as long as you get enjoyment out of it, that's the only reason to collect. These are kind of average copies.
Can you trust it? That 5-star review about a hot new restaurant? Or how about that 1-star review claiming the food was terrible? The answer, you can't just look at that score. There's another number you have to check out first. Prepping for dinner at Harbor Seafood and Steak in Salt Lake City. There is a rhythm to the rush.
We just started out as waiters here in town, waiting tables at another restaurant.
Randall Curtis has passion from years of rising from waiter to owner.
You really have to be focused on the details of service, food, drinks.
Details like what your customers are tasting and what they're saying.
I think with reviews, it's a good way to get the pulse of your restaurant, what's going on.
A pulse that can come to a screeching halt.
So when we first opened, we had a manager from another restaurant that came in and they wrote a pretty negative review.
The food fight isn't always fair. On your table, competitors posting false reviews. Customers claiming the food on their plate wasn't cooked right. But it's not even food that's on the menu.
There's those reviews out there. They're definitely, you feel some helplessness. The defamation they can do to your business can be very costly.
How costly is each star on Yelp?
Increasing your Yelp rating by 1 star is causally associated with a 9% increase in your revenue, at least for restaurants, right?
Yorgos Zervas is an assistant professor at Boston University and a leading researcher on Yelp reviews.
Every business pretty much is on Yelp. They have no way to opt out.
His research shows it's not fake bad reviews crowding the table, it's fake good reviews that can spill over. The rhythm is a bit different at Fillings and Emulsions Bakery.
We're not the old-fashioned bakery that used to do the same thing.
Lemon raspberry tarts, chocolate decadence, Cuban meat pies.
We call ourselves a Latin and eclectic patisserie.
A patisserie based in Salt Lake City, getting worldwide recognition.
We also were named just a few days ago the number 10 bakery in the United States by Yelp.
Fillings and Emulsions has 287 Yelp reviews, sitting at a perfect 5 stars.
If you are an owner and you're trying to get good reviews and you're trying to get people to write good reviews for you, they disappear. Yelp will remove them.
Yelp wipes off about 25% of the reviews as potentially false. Still, fake reviews, positive and negative, can be hard to scrub away. A piece of advice for you? Take a broad look. focus as much on this number, how many reviews a restaurant has, as this number, the actual Yelp score. If specialty pastries are your jam, or if surf and turf is more the rhythm that makes your mouth water, Yelp, viewed with a discerning eye, can help you conquer the food fight. For now, checking that number of reviews that a restaurant has is key to being sure that the overall score you're seeing is accurate. But the review game is changing. In February, for the first time ever, the FTC went after a business for posting fake positive reviews, calling it false advertising. Matt McDonald, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Got it, girly?
Jab, jab, cross, hook. And you do uppercuts. Push-ups, sit-ups, you name it. Anything hard, we do it. Everything, burpees. Everybody loves to hate them.
I started to notice that my wife, things were changing about my wife.
You have Parkinson's? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I work so hard with you. And he's like, I didn't know. So a lot of people don't know I have Parkinson's. I was diagnosed when I was 44. That was 6 years ago. I was told that it wasn't a death sentence, it was a life sentence.
Good, let's do it.
And then one doctor told me I'd never hold grandbabies.
As you start to study about it, you find out that it's a devastating disease that just slowly destroys. And you're watching, and you don't know what to do.
I was falling down a lot. Like if I lost my balance, I was on the floor.
And it's painful. It's painful to want to help your spouse and knowing that you can't.
I've never boxed before. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I never thought I could be mean or hit a bag hard or...
It was the last thing I would ever think my wife could ever do is be a boxer.
I didn't know if it was going to be for me, but I knew I had to do something.
She's amazing. I will never forget. She was literally the very first person to contact me about this affiliate opening. The main thing for me, like I see a million physical differences in her, how hard she can work out, how fast she can run, how many burpees she can do. That's all improved. Her confidence level is just through the roof.
I thought, wow, this might work. And as she kept going to rock steady, she kept coming home. And as the medication mixtures got right, she changed. And I got my wife back. She came back.
1, 2, rock 2, 1,
People
2,
ask me, what does your
two.
wife do? And I say, she's a boxing coach. And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, she's a boxing coach.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good.
If you would have told me that day that I first met her that she would be a certified Rocksteady boxing coach leading her own classes, I would probably not have believed it at that time.
She is an inspiration. Complete inspiration to these people she's working with and with me and my family. My hero, total hero.
Every year, the governor hosts a centenarian celebration for everyone who is 100 years and older, and we offer, not only do we have a lunch that's provided, but the governor gets to speak and meet all the people in the state of Utah who are 100 years or older.
It's amazing. It's amazing to be around all these centenarians. It's wild. There was a lady I met here today that was in Russia that fought the Germans in Leningrad during World War II. The things that these people can tell us, every one of them probably deserves a movie about their life, to be honest with you.
Annabelle opened a restaurant upstairs in
the stories, the things that they've seen, the things they've overcome. You know, the governor was right. There's a lot that we can learn from these people.
Hey, Joe! Where's that saxophone, buddy?
It's
I
at home.
thought you'd bring it here and we'd
No.
have you do a little jam session.
No.
My name is Brad Wheeler. I'm here at the Centenarian Luncheon at the Viridian Center in Murray, and I'm here with Mr. Joe McQueen, who is 100 years old.
But when I went down there one day, Annabelle asked me and another guy named Chambers to go get her some chairs. She had some people coming down for lunch.
Joe has played with Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Ray Charles, Lester Young, Nat King Cole, Coleman Hawkins, Lester Young.
Annabelle used to book bands and take them out to the old mill.
He's the oldest celebrity here and probably the most reluctant celebrity you'll ever meet.
I went back upstairs and I said, Annabelle, I said, you know you got a fortune down in that basement. She said, what are you talking about, Joe? I said, all that junk down there, you move that out and make a club down there.
To hear firsthand accounts about him having conversations with Louis Armstrong or They're special.
I played down there. They opened it up.
He called me about 3 or 4 weeks ago and asked me if I'd like to come with him to the Centurion luncheon, and I told him I'd love to. There's something about old people that I've always just loved and loved to be around. To be in their presence is an honor.